I always get the same question. How can I become the best player in my position? Now, a lot of those players expect some sort of 9-step plan that they can execute to become better at their positional roles and duties. But I have to offer you something more practical and valuable that can help you solve pretty much any problem you're facing in your position. And that, guys, is the art of reverse engineering the problem solving process. Now, I'm a huge believer that for every problem, there is at least one solution, no matter if we're talking about football or life in general. That solution can be found in many ways. Now, most players and coaches like to problem solve the issues they are dealing with in game by analyzing just their own game and performance and viewing the problem through their own biased lens. They are just thinking about how they behave and act on an individual level, completely disregarding their environment and their opponents and how these affect their actions. And in a team sport like football, these certainly play a vital role. Now, many of you that have been watching our videos have heard me talk about the art of reverse engineering before. But what do I really mean when I'm saying that you should reverse engineer every problem you're dealing with in your position? It is a really simple concept to use and understand. You first have to recognize a problem inside your game, like for example, struggling with a really low success rate in attacking 1v1s. Now, as I've said, most players would completely disregard some facts, principles, and patterns that shape football as a game. Instead, take that problem and also recognize which external factors affect its solution. In the example we mentioned on attacking 1v1s, a direct external factor that affects your success rate is the defender. What I want you to do now is get in the shoes of that defender. What principles is his defensive play built on? What are the most common facts and game patterns you recognize within a defender's game? How are defenders behaving in 1v1s? Understand how they function, find the weak links in the defensive play, and exploit those weaknesses. Alongside your personal evaluation, this problem-solving process will allow you to gain a deeper understanding of your game and grow more as a player. Now, this can be used in various ways, but let's focus on two: solving structural and functional problems. On one hand, we have structural problems. I'm basically referring to a team's tactical game profile and style of play. The first thing you need to do as an individual or a team is recognize the structural information like the team's formation, whether they adopt a more defensive, balanced, or attacking approach, as well as some specific subgroup tactics they use, like for example a high press. Now that you've recognized how the opposition likes to structure their gameplay, it is time to reverse engineer the solutions to all the possible problems that may arise during the game. All you have to do is get in the shoes of your opponents and understand the weaknesses of their gameplay that they want to cover up. For example, if you're a defender and the opposing team is applying a high press, get in the shoes of the opposing players and think of what their weak links are while using that high defensive block. They might be applying a really high pressure to you in order to win possession of the ball near or inside the final third, but they're certainly losing their balance and structure in the back in order to move players higher up the field. Another example could be the use of a specific formation to counter the formation of the opposition. You get the point. Analyze a problem and don't be one-dimensional. Look at the problem through both lenses, your personal one and your opponent's. And to get more specific, let's talk about how you can easily solve any position-specific problem you're dealing with in your position, like for example how you defend or attack in a 1v1 scenario. Now, in order to reverse engineer this or any other position-specific problem you're facing, you just have to recognize the principles that guide their game and the disadvantages that they have. If we take the attacking 1v1 scenario, for example, all you have to do is refer to the basic principles of defending in order to increase your success rate. Defenders want time, balance, structure, and proper communication. If they don't have one or all of these, you're most probably gonna beat them. So given that, you basically want to act fast, precise, and be unpredictable and agile. You're basically not allowing the opposing defenders time to recover and reorganize, and you're putting the defender that's on you out of balance with your technically sharp and agile actions. In other words, you discover what they need and you don't give it to them. You recognize the advantages they are after and counteract them. If a defender wants time, don't let them delay you. If a defender wants structure, crash it with unpredictability and smart movement. If a defender wants to lead you in a certain direction, use both feet. I think you're understanding how this works now. The good thing about reverse engineering solutions is that it is applicable to every scenario that involves opponents. You just have to dig a bit deeper and be aware of all the basic principles of defending and attacking. So here's a little cheat sheet you can study and analyze. In fact, after watching this video until the end, I want you to sit down and analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the opposing style of play. So if you're a defender, problem solve the attacking principles and vice versa, and then let us know down in the comments what you've learned. Now notice that I am not saying that you should just use this process to solve position or tactical related problems and always structure your game based on your opponents. I'm just saying that you shouldn't be one-dimensional while solving game-specific problems. By combining both lenses, it is guaranteed that you will gain a deeper knowledge and understanding of the problem you're trying to solve. And of course, adjusting your game all the time based on how your opponents play can also be a recipe for season-long failure if not balanced properly. But let's leave that for another video. Having said that, if you want to expand more on this topic and become a genius player that's ready to take on any challenge, I would highly suggest watching this video next.